Hey guys, so this is a bit of an impromptu video. I wasn't originally planning to do this video, but I've been thinking about my home theater setup recently, and this is my current home theater receiver. This is the Marantz Cinema 60. It retails for $1,700 US back when I got it 2 years ago. So it's a fairly expensive receiver. It's not the most expensive one, but it's definitely not entry level, I would say. And yeah, this is by the Japanese-American company Marantz. Yeah, originally they were American. They started in the 50s, but they've been Japanese-owned for a long time. And just recently, I think they were bought out by Samsung. So technically, they're now Korean-owned. But yeah, they're fairly well known for making receivers and higher-end amplifiers and stuff like that. So yeah, this is a fairly expensive receiver. I've been using it for the past 2.5 years. I've been mostly satisfied with it. Did a review video on it and everything. But just, I noticed that when it comes to home theater systems, and especially my apartment setup, I haven't actually been taking full advantage of this thing. So this is a pretty, pretty heavy receiver. I mean, most receivers are like this. They're just big black boxes and stuff. And yeah, it has 6 HDMI inputs, actually, not 7. A lot of home theater receivers have 7, but this one only has 6. 6 HDMI inputs and outputs 100 watts per channel into 7 channels. So you can drive it with up to 7.2 channels, actually, because you can hook up 2 subwoofers to it. And then 7 channels, you can either split it into, you can either do 7.2 or you can do 5.2.2, I believe. If you want to add 2 Atmos speakers, you can do that as well. So you can split it in whatever way you want. Either do 5.2.2 or 7.2. But anyways, I realized I haven't really been using this thing to its full potential because essentially I don't have any surrounds in my apartment because I just don't want to deal with the wires going everywhere. Yeah, like I guess if you're going for the full at least 5.1 or 7.1 type of setup, you're gonna have surrounds, and then you're gonna have to put like the surrounds in some area of the room, right? And then you're gonna have to do some cable management when it comes to that. And I just don't want to bother with that because the thing is, once you add in surrounds, because surrounds usually go to the back and side of the room, you're gonna have a lot of these cables running around the room, which I didn't like. So I don't have any surrounds, and I pretty much only have been using this with the 2 left and right speakers, obviously, the center channel and the subwoofer. So really, I've been using this as a 3.1 setup, which is really kind of underutilizing it because it has 7 channels, right? So it has 7 channels, but I'm only using 3 of them. So I've been thinking, I do have a stereo streaming amp here, the Technics C600. I've done a review on this one too. This is currently in my bedroom, which I use to power my other TV. But then I had this thought, okay, I'm only using 3 channels on my Marantz receiver. It's kind of a waste. And what if I can just try to use a stereo amp with my home theater setup? Would that work? And I know there's going to be some changes. Obviously, I can't use a center channel if I'm going to go to a stereo amp, right? It's only 2 channels. So I'm going to have to take away the center channel, which might actually be okay because, to be honest, like the center channel, I don't really use when I'm playing music, right? That's music only outputs a stereo. And for a lot of movies I watch, I'm not really watching any 5.1 mixes and stuff. I'm actually just watching a lot of downloaded rips, which are actually in stereo. So even when I'm watching movies, actually, I'm not even using the center channel. So it's only maybe for my PlayStation 5, then that uses the center channel for dialogue mostly, and that's it. So I thought, okay, maybe actually I can go with a stereo amp, but maybe I might not need the center channel. And the one other thing that will be different is this one does not have an HDMI ARC. Now, a lot of streaming amps nowadays do. If you get the streaming amp version of the Marantz, it will be the Marantz M1, which I also did a video on. That one does have HDMI ARC. This one, unfortunately, it does not have it. This retails for $1,000, by the way. So this is cheaper. It's also a lot lighter than the Cinema 60, and you can tell how much smaller it is. It's like literally like, when you talk about thickness, it's like half the thickness of the Cinema 60. And if I place it on top, right, it's basically a fraction of the size of the Cinema 60. So yeah, I thought, I'll try this. And this even has a CD player built in. But other than that, actually, the Marantz Cinema 60 does everything the Technics C600 can do, except for the CD feature. But everything else, this one does have. Essentially, what I want to do is kind of simplify my home theater system, because this thing, let's be honest, it's huge, right? It takes up a lot of space on my TV stand, and it's just this big bulky box. And I don't like receivers because of that reason. Like, they're just these huge, like, bulky monstrosities basically that sit in some kind of media stand or on my TV shelf. So I don't like having a big receiver. So if I can downgrade essentially to just something a bit lighter and looks cooler, I have to admit the Technics looks pretty good actually. If I can just downgrade into something like this, then hey, that's actually a win, something that's actually lighter and smaller, takes up less space. But yeah, what am I giving up? Well, not too much. I don't, this one actually has most of the inputs I need, except for, of course, it only drives 2 channels. It's a stereo amp, right? So no center channel, no surrounds or anything. That's fine. I don't use surrounds anyway. So I'll really just be giving up the center channel, plus no HDMI ARC. And I know HDMI ARC is better than optical. Of course, this has optical in. That's pretty standard, has optical in, but okay, what am I giving up with HDMI ARC? You're giving up the ability to transfer higher quality lossless audio. Like, if you have any kind of movies that use Dolby True HD or DTS Master Audio, those are like lossless formats, or Atmos, then yeah, optical is probably not going to work for that. You need HDMI ARC to transfer higher bandwidth audio. And that's fine. I'm okay giving up that because, yeah, like I said, I don't really watch much Netflix, and I don't have a Blu-ray player. Actually, I don't use, I don't watch Blu-ray movies. I shouldn't say I don't have a Blu-ray player. I have PlayStation, but I don't watch Blu-ray movies. I don't watch 4K Blu-ray movies. So I mostly watch like full HD movies downloaded, like rips. That's mostly what I watch. And those don't have lossless audio on them anyways, and they're in stereo. So yeah, because of that reason, I don't think I need it actually. So I'm gonna try an experiment tonight. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attempt to replace my Marantz Cinema 60 with the Technics C600 and see what happens. See if there's any kind of difference or improvement or loss, of course. Just going from my expectation, I should expect maybe a bit of a downgrade because, well, this is 100 watts, okay? The Marantz Cinema 60 is quite powerful, 100 watts per channel, so that's 7 channels times 100 watts RMS, okay? Pretty powerful. The C600 is 40 watts per channel, and it's just 2 channels, so it's not quite as powerful as the Marantz Cinema 60. In addition to that, the Cinema 60 is a Class AB amp. And the Technics is a digital amp, not Class D, by the way. It's a bit different. They have a full digital amp inside of here. So nothing analog in this one. This one is analog. And, audiophiles say analog, it sounds a bit more pure, natural, better, or whatever. Okay. Well, anyways, I expect this one to not maybe be a downgrade. And this one's more expensive as well. 1,700, 1,000, right? So, yeah. Also, the audio quality, like optical, isn't as good as HDMI ARC either. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to replace my Cinema 60 with the Technics C600, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, like this is my center channel, by the way. It's a Martin Logan 30i, which I also did kind of a small video on. Yeah, it's a fairly substantial center channel. It costs about $900 brand new. So it's not some cheap center channel speaker, I would say. So this is what I'm replacing essentially, and the dialogue would originally go from the center channel with the Marantz, right? But once I switch to the Technics stereo amp, the dialogue is going to be split between the left and right channels. And actually that might be interesting as well, because my left and right channel speakers are even better. They're the Neat Ministra, the Neat Ministras, which are like $2,000 speakers. So actually that might not be worse, so I think that's what's going to happen, right? I take away the center channel, and because I take away the center channel, the dialogue from movies and stuff are just going to be split into the left and right channels. which actually are usually better speakers in a home theater system. In my case, they are. Yeah, Neat Ministras are better than the Martin Logan 30i's. The subwoofer I'm using is the Dynamo 400 from Martin Logan as well, and both of these have subwoofer outputs, so it's fine. That's not a loss there. So yeah, I'm going to be downgrading essentially from a 3.1 setup, which I'm currently using, which is kind of a waste because like this Marantz has 7 channels, but I'm only using 3 of them. But yeah, I'm essentially going to be downgrading from 3.1 into just 2.1 with the Technics, and we'll see the differences. I'll be playing a movie. I'll be playing The Killer, actually, which is a great movie. It's from the 1980s, directed by John Woo, one of the classic Hong Kong movies. Yeah, I'll be playing that. It has a lot of action in it. And then I'll be playing a game. I'll be playing Ghost of Yote, actually, because that has, yeah, pretty nice. It's a pretty recent game I've been playing, and has good cinematics and everything. So we're going to see how it works with that game. And then I'll be playing a few music tracks from different songs I've been listening to recently. So, from a few different genres. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. I'll just be doing this comparison. First, I'll be just doing everything through the Marantz Cinema 60. Yeah, I think I had the volume at about 60 maybe for this, and I haven't tried this one yet, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, technically this receiver can do everything this stereo amp can do, except for playing the CDs. And it has HDMI ARC and it has more channels and everything, so this is a more technically capable device, but we'll see. I mean, they're both amplifiers, okay? So this is a more technically capable amplifier because it has more features. There's Bluetooth and it has streaming as well. It has HEOS, which is okay. I don't love HEOS, but it's there. And Technics also has streaming as well. They have their own amplifier. They have Chromecast, Spotify Connect and stuff as well. So I don't lose out on the streaming by going with the Technics. And it also has Bluetooth as well. So yeah, I would say if I can do without a center channel speaker, this is pretty much what my experiment is going to be. I'm going to try everything with the Marantz Cinema 60 and with the center channel speaker, HDMI ARC, and then I'm going to try it again with the Technics C600, just the stereo amp, no HDMI ARC, just going through optical from my TV, and yeah, see if there's any differences and stuff. By the way, yes, I know that the one massive advantage the receiver has is that it has a lot of HDMI inputs. That's something that the stereo amp can't do. So yeah, most stereo amps, they don't really come with a lot of HDMI inputs. Some stereo amps might come with an HDMI ARC input, but yeah, for the most part, I think stereo amps do not come with a lot of HDMI inputs. Receivers do. So that is a big consideration. Like if you have a lot of HDMI sources, then you might have to go with a receiver. In my case, I have 3 HDMI inputs on my TV, and I think that might be enough for me. Yeah, I just have my Nvidia Shield and my PlayStation 5 and my Nintendo Switch. That's really it. But if you guys have a lot of HDMI sources, then obviously you can't really even think about going to a stereo amp. You have to kind of use a receiver just because it has a lot of HDMI inputs. If nothing else, you know, obviously receiver does a lot more, but yeah, like, yeah, this has 6. It's not even the most. Like a lot of receivers have 7 or even 8 inputs, right? So if you do have a lot of HDMI sources, then sometimes you just have no choice but to go with a receiver. But in my case, I'm okay just sticking with the amount of HDMI inputs on my TV, which right now is about 3. So that's enough for me. And in that case, you can actually use a stereo amp. If you're okay with just the amount of HDMI inputs on your TV, you just can do an optical out from the TV into here, into a stereo amp, then it could be fine, you know. And yeah, in my case, I don't technically need ARC that much because first, the benefits of the ARC is that, okay, you can transmit lossless quality audio, like Dolby lossless and stuff, right? True HD, you know, DTS master audio. Okay, I don't care too much about that because I wasn't watching movies with that anyways. And the other difference is, okay, you can't use your TV remote control to control the amplifier, which you can do if it has HDMI ARC, right? You can use the volume up and down on your TV remote control or your power button, and that will actually control the amplifier as well. In my case, I don't really care about that. You know, if I need to change some volume or something like that, I can just do that using the Technics remote. you know, I don't have to use my TV remote for that. So I don't care too much about that. So really the benefits of HDMI ARC is kind of minimal for me in my situation. But yeah, obviously this experiment is just kind of personal for my setup. If you guys have a lot of HDMI sources, then maybe you have no choice but to use a receiver. In my particular case, I'm okay just using like the amount of HDMI inputs on my TV. I'm okay not having HDMI ARC because I don't really watch a lot of movies with lossless audio. And I'm okay not even having surround or center channel actually, or yeah, we'll see about center channel, but I'm okay not having surround or Atmos. You know, that might not apply for a lot of people. A lot of people have to have Atmos or surround sound. Okay, you know, great for them. This experiment probably won't apply for them then. If you guys need surround and Atmos in your setup, then yeah, this experiment won't make any sense because the stereo amp obviously doesn't have enough channels for that. This experiment's kind of might be interesting. This video might be interesting for people who don't use surrounds and don't care about Atmos and also don't care about the lossless audio quality thing, and also have just enough HDMI inputs on their TV, I would say. If you're in that situation, which is the same as my situation, then yeah, this video might interest you. And then we'll find out if the center channel is going to be like missed or not. We'll see. Alright, so when I was doing the Marantz Cinema 60 comparison, I thought that, okay, I have the Technics C600, but maybe I will want to also compare it to my other stereo amplifier, the Rotel A12, and see how that one matches up as well. Because this is going to be for my new home theater setup, and I want to see, you know, which stereo amplifier sounds the best with it. So let me go over the similarities and differences between these two, because I also want to bring the Rotel A12 into the equation as well. Okay, so just going over the similarities and differences, I think there's probably more differences than similarities. So the main similarity I would say is that these two are both stereo amplifiers that retail for $1,000 US, and they're both from well-respected Japanese audio brands. So this is Technics, which is the high-end audio brand of Panasonic, and this is Rotel, which is this is a pretty well-respected Japanese audio brand that's been family-owned since the 1950s. Yeah, they're both highly respected among audiophiles. That's pretty much where the similarities end. Otherwise, there are definitely many differences. In terms of power output, the Technics C600 is 40 watts of pure digital power. So it has a pure digital amplifier. They call it the Geno engine. It's not Class D, it's a different thing. So it has its own kind of proprietary digital amplifier inside of here. 40 watts doesn't sound like a lot, but in practice, I think it actually does give a lot of power, more than you would think. And then the Rotel A12, which is the first generation, by the way, not the second generation. This one's 60 watts of Class AB power, so that should be fairly respected for audiophiles. That's more traditional, of course. In terms of just the appearance, the Technics C600 is more sleeker looking. It's more, more of a more modern looking thing. It's not that heavy. You guys can see that it's probably, it's not, definitely the Rotel is smaller than the Marantz Cinema 60, but still, you can tell the Technics is still smaller than the Rotel. So in terms of just size difference, yeah, the Rotel is still bigger and heavier. This one, the Rotel has a traditional Toroidal transformer inside of this. I don't know about the Technics, but the Rotel has that. In terms of the interface, they both have this small little LED interface, I would say. So it's nothing like those big, nice, colorful interfaces that you see for like the Eversolo and the Weem, and you know, kind of newer streaming amps have that nice colorful interface. No, this one does not have that kind of big screen or colorful interface. They're kind of just like, pretty basic LED displays here. Then in terms of volume adjustment, for Technics you just have these small buttons to adjust the volume. The Rotel has a more traditional rotary knob here, and I prefer the rotary knob actually. It just feels nicer. So the Rotel has that. Technics power button is just this small little button up here. Rotel has a push-in switch right here, so you just push that in and it turns on. So I think the Rotel has a more traditional feeling and vibe and aesthetic to it. Rotel has more buttons on the front to switch between the inputs. Technics you do not. You have to kind of just manually keep pressing the source button or use the remote control. Both of them have a headphone jack, 3.5 millimeter, and both of them have a USB-A input here. So yeah, I think that in general, just judging from the aesthetics and just overall, the Rotel is a more traditional stereo amplifier compared to the Technics. Technics is a little bit more modern, sleeker looking. Technics, of course, also has the CD player up here, which the Rotel does not have. And it also has network streaming features over Wi-Fi. The Rotel does not have that. Both of them have Bluetooth, so you can use Bluetooth with either of them. I don't think that they have aptX, or actually the Rotel does have aptX. I don't think the Technics does. But yeah, just basic aptX, I think, not a aptX HD or anything for the Rotel. So yeah, both of them have Bluetooth, but only the Technics has Wi-Fi streaming, like it has Chromecast, has Spotify Connect and stuff. The Rotel does not have that. We can take a look at the back for the I/O. Okay. So when you take a look at the back, you'll notice that the Technics is definitely the more compact box here, because it's kind of like an all-in-one streaming solution. So the Rotel definitely has more I/O here. So if you look at the back here, what's actually impressive about the Rotel A12 is that it has 2 sets of speaker terminals, not just one. So you can actually drive 2 sets of speakers. That's pretty cool. The Technics can only drive 1 set of speakers. The Technics has a dedicated subwoofer out. The Rotel does not have that. The Rotel, I think you have to go through the pre-outputs here into your subwoofer. So it would be nice if the Rotel had dedicated subwoofer out, but it doesn't. Just line-in inputs, you have 1 analog line-in for the Technics, whereas you have 4 analog line-in for the Rotel. You have phono input and phono input here. Although I think the Technics has the better phono input, because the phono preamp that's in the Technics has its own dedicated power supply. So I think the phono preamp in the Technics might sound a little bit better than the one in the Rotels. The Rotels might be just the basic phono preamp. This one is Ethernet as well on Technics. I don't think the Rotel has that. Both of them have USB input to connect to your computer as well, although the Rotel might have a slightly better DAC. I don't know what the Technics uses actually, but the Rotel, this is the first generation A12. So this has a Wolfson DAC inside of it. The newer Mark II generation has ESS Sabre DAC. But I think the Rotel does have a slightly better DAC for the USB input. And optical, yeah, optical and coaxial input. So Technics has 1 digital and 1 optical coaxial input here. So compared to the Rotel has 2 optical and 2 digital coaxial inputs. So just in terms of I/O, the Rotel has more. But the Technics does have, I would say, more features built in. So it really depends on what you're looking for here, because these two are both stereo amplifiers, but they're different, right? I still want to test them to see which one has better sound quality, because I'll be using them, comparing them in my stereo setup, comparing them against my Marantz Cinema 60 receiver, of course. So I want to see which one sounds better. But just in terms of functionality, the Technics C600 has more features because it's a more all-in-one streaming box solution. It also looks nicer and it's lighter. Yeah, it has a CD player, has network streaming. The Rotel is definitely more of a traditional audiophile type of stereo amp, right? So as a traditional Class A/B power, has more I/O, especially analog inputs. Doesn't have as much modern features, I would say, compared to Technics. Doesn't have the Wi-Fi streaming, and yeah, it doesn't have the CD player, doesn't have subwoofer out. Yeah, and doesn't have the Ethernet either. So there is, yeah, definitely I would say there's pros and cons of each, right? It's also cool that the Rotel can drive two speaker terminals, or 2 sets of speakers, I would say. Yeah, also if you care about this, there's the Rotel Link 12 volt trigger out for the Rotel. The Technics does not have that. I don't use that kind of stuff, but for people who care about that, you know, if you care about having the trigger outs and stuff, the Rotel does have that and Technics doesn't. So yeah, 2 pretty different devices, I would say, retailing for around the same price. But yeah, I want to kind of test them out to see which one I like more. So yeah, in the rest of this video, I'm going to be doing a sound comparison test, and I'll be playing some movies and music and showing some gameplay as well. And yeah, so you guys can compare to see which one sounds the best. So first the Marantz Cinema 60, and then the Technics C600, and then the Rotel A12. Comparing all of them, in the end, I think it's about sound quality and functionality, right? So let me know in the comment section what you guys think after watching the video, which one sounds better to you guys, which one would you guys prefer. Yeah, of course for both of these you'll be losing out on the center channel because yeah, like comparing it to the Marantz Cinema 60, that one's Yeah, that one's just a big box receiver, right? So that one has 7 channels of 100 watts each, all driving, different speakers. So that one I can use a center channel with. That one also has HDMI ARC. Neither of these have HDMI ARC. I'll have to use optical in for both of these. But yeah, let me know after the video what you guys think, the sound quality differences or the features. Which one would you guys pick between these three? Would you stick with the Marantz Cinema 60 that I currently have, or would you go for the Technics C600 or the Rotel A12? Let me know in the comment section. Yeah, as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention about the Technics C600 is that it does have a room acoustic correction feature called Space Tune. So that's kind of interesting. The Rotel A12 does not have it, and the Marantz Cinema 60 does have it. It's Odyssey Mult EQ. But Odyssey is generally considered not that great unless you go to the XT32. So yeah, I think the Marantz Cinema 60 actually doesn't really have good room correction. Like the Odyssey Mult EQ is just like whatever. The Technics Space Tune seems to be okay. It's not like the best. Of course, Dirac Live and ARC from Anthem. Like there's some other ones that are much better still. But I think it's still better than Odyssey and better than what you get on the Rotel A12, which is nothing. So yeah, that's another feature I have to mention is that the Technics C600 does come with, kind of like an acoustic room. I think they call this a room spatial equalization or correction feature. A lot of receivers have them, but yeah, the Technics, because it can be used pretty much anywhere. You can use it for your desktop, you can use it for your living room. It does come with that feature as well, so that's pretty good. The Rotel A12 doesn't come with that. So again, I think that if you're looking for a more modern type of amplifier for your living room setup, the Technics definitely has more modern features compared to the Rotel. Although it doesn't have HDMI ARC still, which is kind of a shame, but yeah, the Space Tune room acoustic correction feature is definitely nice. Okay, let's try Ghost of Yote. That's the game I'll try out here. And 60 volume on the Marantz Cinema 60. Let's check it out. Okay, let's do a camp here. Oh yeah, so you gotta start fire the old-fashioned way, because this is ancient Japan here. There we go. Oh, it's not easy to get a fire started in ancient Japan. Okay, here we go. Not hungry, let's play the shamisen. That's your song, sure. Okay. Sleep.
月照か。静市の伊三郎から様子を見てこいと頼まれた。
あやつは肝が小さくて困る。 とはいえ道に迷ってしまってな。己を顧みる場所を探している。道を求める者らのために地蔵が置かれているという。
その地蔵を知ってるぞ。父が百姓に手を貸してどこかに一体置いてた。
おや、蝦夷地のものだったか。その地蔵を探す間、友をしてもらえないか。手がかりを見つけられるかもしれない。
坊主を一人この土地に置き去りにするのはさすがに気が引ける。
引き受けてくれるのだな。では出立しよう。
あの地蔵、てめえにとってよほど大事なのか？
あまたの浪人が蝦夷地を目指していると聞いて、この地で平和に暮らすものだ。あまたの浪人が蝦夷地を目指していると聞いて、この地で平和に暮らす者らの妨げになるのではと案じてしまってな。わしならば浪人どもを説き伏せられるはずだ。地蔵の前で共に思案を巡らせば、他の生きる手立てを示せるかもしれん。
よし。
Okay, so yeah, it's a bit of Ghost of Yote.
あんたみたいな賞金稼ぎはそうそういない。
気をつけろ。よし。切ってみよう。後ろに何か隠れてるかも。
て誰が現れたか。ようやくだ。これで俺がふさわしい相手だと竹蔵様に示せる。痩せこけた浪人と旅人を切ったところで剣豪とは言えんからな。
なら切ることはなかったはずだ。
まあ稽古代わりにはなった。だが貴様は豪のものだろう。こっちも死ぬ覚悟でいかねえとな。存分に楽しませてくれ。見込み違いだ。これで俺がふさわしい相手だと竹蔵様に示せる。痩せこけた浪人と旅人を切ったところで剣豪とは言えんからな。
なら切ることはなかったはずだ。
まあ稽古代わりにはなった。だが貴様は豪のものだろう。こっちも死ぬ覚悟でいかねえとな。存分に楽しませてくれ。 じゃねえか。見込み違いだ。見込み違いだ。いい作戦じゃねえか。そうだ。遠慮はいらねえ。
Let's try the killer. This is a 4K version, rip.
先にせい。
这是什么？完全是。我會俾你拉翻差館，放低呢張。 知你唔會殺警察。唔該，正話你根本可以一槍打死我。喺我未了解敵人之前，我唔會隨便打死佢。你了解我咩？有時命運都幾搞笑，估唔到了解我嘅會係個差佬。其實你可以放棄，我都有諗過，只係我答應過要做嘅嘢，我一定要做到，冇似你咁瀟灑就好。有時我想做啲嘢，想做都做唔到。我相信正義，可惜冇人相信我。好人多數俾人誤解。你真係唔似個警察，你都唔似個殺手咩？對唔住，今次拖埋你落水，我只係想知道邊個係主謀。行有行規，呢樣嘢我幫你唔到。我都知你唔會講㗎啦，不過你要行嘅路好長，你樣樣要小心。我仲要拉你。
齊於刑事。
杨建，你就是这群人。我要前视频。 我會俾你拉翻差館，放低支槍。我知你唔會殺警察。正話你根本可以一槍打死我。喺我未了解敵人之前，我唔會隨便打死佢。你了解我咩？有時命運都幾搞笑，估唔到了解我嘅會係個差佬。其實你可以放棄。我都有諗過，只係我答應過要做嘅嘢，我一定要做到。好似你咁瀟灑就好。有時我想做啲嘢，想做都做唔到。我相信正義，可惜冇人相信我。好人多數俾人誤解。你真係唔似個警察，你都唔似個殺手咩？對唔住，今次拖埋你落水，我只係想知道邊個主謀，行有行規，呢樣嘢我幫你唔到。我都知你唔會講㗎啦，不過你要行嘅路好長，你樣樣要小心。我仲要拉你。
好心㗎。
使邊你死？ 我唔會俾你拉翻差館。放低支槍。我知你唔會殺警察。正話你根本可以一槍打死我。喺我未了解敵人之前，我唔會隨便打死佢。你了解我咩？有時命運都幾搞笑，估唔到了解我㗎，會係個差佬。其實你可以放棄。我都有諗過，只係我答應過要做嘅嘢，我一定要做到。冇似你咁瀟灑就好。有時我想做啲嘢，想做都做唔到。我相信正義，可惜冇人相信我。好人多咗俾人誤解。你真係唔似個警察，你都唔似個殺手。對唔住，今次拖埋你落水，我只係想知道邊個係主謀。行有行規，呢樣嘢我幫你唔到。我都知你唔會講㗎啦，不過你要行嘅路好長，你樣樣要小心。我仲要拉你。
When you say I'm a dream, you don't even know my name, do you? You don't even know my name, do you? Super shy, but wait a minute while I make it mine, make it mine. 열리는 지금도 you're on my mind all the time. I wanna tell you, but I'm super shy, super shy. I'm super shy, 정말 몰라 이렇게 설레 까만 밤을 하얗게 지샌 적은 처음이죠 손잡고 걸어요 Under the starry sky 우리 파도 부족해 아침 눈 뜰 때 내 생각하나요 좋은 걸 보면 나를 떠올리나요 나처럼 문득 혼자 온나요 말해줘요 처음인가요 나만큼이 빠진 거 맞죠 알고 싶어요 내 맘이 그대보다 깊은 건 아닌지 바보처럼요 정말 몰라 이렇게 설레 까만 밤을 하얗게 지샌 적은 처음이죠 손잡고 걸어요 Under the starry sky 우리 파도 부족해 아침 눈 뜰 때 내 생각하나요 좋은 걸 보면 나를 떠올리나요 나처럼 문득 혼자 온나요 말해줘요 처음인가요 나만큼이 빠진 거 맞죠 알고 싶어요 내 맘이 그대보다 깊은 건 아닌지 바보처럼요 정말 몰라 이렇게 설레 까만 밤을 하얗게 지샌 적은 처음이죠 손잡고 걸어요 Under the starry sky 우리 파도 부족해 아침 눈 뜰 때 내 생각하나요 좋은 걸 보면 나를 떠올리나요 나처럼 문득 혼자 온나요 말해줘요 처음인가요 나만큼이 빠진 거 맞죠 알고 싶어요 내 맘이 그대보다 깊은 건 아닌지
Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation. And little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication. It's the edge of the world in all of Western civilization. The sun may is this your gender? Is that war you're waging? Firstborn unicorn, hardcore softcore. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation. And little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication. It's the edge of the world in all of Western civilization. The sun may rise in the east, at least it's settled in a final location. It's understood that Hollywood sells Californication. Pay a surgeon marijuana to break the spell of aging. Celebrity skin, is this your gender? Is that war you're waging? Firstborn unicorn, hardcore softcore. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation. And little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication. It's the edge of the world in all of Western civilization. The sun may rise in the east, at least it's settled in a final location. It's understood that Hollywood sells Californication. Pay a surgeon marijuana to break the spell of aging. Celebrity skin, is this your gender? Is that war you're waging? Firstborn unicorn, hardcore softcore. Dream of Californication. Dream of Californication. What I want